Hey guys, so I'm going to do this a little bit different. Listen, I just checked this. This is my update on the foreign currencies, right? So, my name is Melanie Hinds. If you haven't met me before, I'm glad you're here. Please subscribe and tap the bell. I just opened up Sandman's link, and it said an extraordinary meeting of the State Administration Alliance in the presence of Nikevran Barzani and Sudani on Saturday, but it just came out today. So I wanted to make sure you saw this or you heard about this. So, and then I'm going to get into a new thing from the BBC, an article that a good friend of mine just sent me, that they have a new currency in Zimbabwe. So that's good news for anybody holding Zimbabwe bonds. So hang on to your hats. This is going to be a good summary. I hope you will subscribe and tap the bell. A political source said that an exceptional meeting of the Coalition of State Administration was held on Saturday. They look very happy, and it said in this regard, the official spokesman for the presidency of the Kurdistan region, Delshad Shabib, told our agency that the visit is scheduled for next Saturday, where Barzani will meet with the Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani. He added that Barzani will discuss during his visit with Iraqi officials several files, such as the budget, salaries, and the resumption of its export, in addition to relations between Erbil, Baghdad, and others. So, guys, there's a lot of good things coming. They were very smiles in this picture. It sounds like good news. It looks like good news. Now, on to the article that I was just emailed while I was on an appointment. I was at 3:35. It's a BBC article, and I'm just going to read it. Zimbabwe launches a new gold-backed currency. Let's see. Zimbabwe launches a new gold-backed currency. Now, listen, you have to understand that when anybody says it's a gold-backed currency, how are they going to prove it? Do you really trust them? Do you really trust any governing authority? You need to ask yourself that before you get all excited, right? So, but they have new currency. They're showing them, and they are lower denoms. So this could mean great things for our bonds. So hang on to your hats. Zimbabwe has introduced a new gold-backed currency called ZIG. ZIG. The name stands for Zimbabwe Gold. It is the latest attempt to stabilize an economy that has lurched from crisis to crisis over the past 25 years. Unveiling the new notes, the central bank governor, remember, they're who in control, John Mushinawa, said the ZIG would be structured and set at a market-determined exchange rate. The ZIG replaces the Zimbabwean dollar, the RTGS, that had lost 3/4 of its value so far this year. Annual inflation in March reached 55%, which was a 7-month high. Zimbabweans have 21 days to exchange old inflation-hit notes for the new currency. You have 21 days. So let's see what happens. I will keep you posted. I will be checking, so don't worry about it. However, the U.S. dollar, which accounts for 85% of transactions, will remain legal tender, and most people are likely to continue to prefer this. Again, the U.S. dollar is always supreme in all countries that have had this problem. Why? Because we keep it stable because of our economic policies. So the new ZIG banknotes come in denominations between $1 and $200. Coins will also be introduced to overcome the shortage of U.S. coins, which has seen people receiving change in sweets, small chocolates, and pens. He said the new currency was being rolled out with immediate effect, and the banks must convert Zimbabwe dollar balances to the ZIG. He committed to ensuring that the amount of local currency in circulation was backed by equivalent value in precious minerals, mainly gold, for a foreign exchange, in order to prevent the currency losing value like its predecessors. Yay! This may be the first that we see, so you should be celebrating. Please comment down below. Please subscribe, tap the bell if you like this. Zimbabweans have a basic mistrust of the central bank dating back to 2008, when it was printing notes while inflation had run out of control. It then abolished its own currency and for many years used only foreign banknotes such as the U.S. dollar and the South African rand. In late 2016, the body introduced a new currency called the bond note that was backed by the U.S. dollar loan facility. The then central bank governor vowed it would remain on par with the U.S. dollar, but the bond note crashed when the government began printing excess money. Promises have now been made by the central bank's new governor that overprinting will not be allowed to happen again, but public reaction on Friday to the latest currency reveal has been subdued. we now end up in the same place where we started, where assurances are being given to the market that the government will live within its means, economist Jeffrey Konze told the BBC. The political culture has not changed. The critical point is discipline on part of the authorities. The announcement of the new currency comes as the country is grappling with the effects of a serious drought, which has destroyed half the country's crop of the staple food maize. Guys, this is good news. I hope you agree. If you believe this is good news, comment down below. This is a good article, and I'm so thankful for the person who sent it to me. And that is Tiffany. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for sending that so I could include it, because I was on a private consultation with a good friend of mine. That was great. I'm glad we talked. I will send this to you. Hopefully you appreciate this update. So now we go to because we are praying that Sandman comes back and gives us what's the word on the street over there. I don't know. Comment down below if you want to see Sandman back. Give him some love so that he gets back in touch with me when he gets back from his vacation, which I'm hoping he's back from now, because it's been a while. Right? So, and I've been trying to get through this cold, so I'm back up to speed. Please pray for my husband. He's napping a lot today, which I know is the key to his healing. So, this is a summary. I'm going to give you the summary from everybody else in the U.S., but I've got detailed notes that I printed out today of the call that was on today at noon. If you know who that is, comment down below. This is TNT's call today. If I don't see it in here, I'm going to read it to you, because we need as much information as we can get in this summary today. So this summary today starts out with Mark Z, PDK comment, praying this is the weekend we have been waiting for Mark Z. I'm with you about this weekend. Either way, I feel doggone good about April. A lot of people have been told it is coming. It's coming for so long they don't jump anymore when told it's time for things. Now suddenly it appears it's time for things, so a bit of scrambling going on. And Pimpy's was the only thing left is to remove the troops out of Iraq. No more coalition forces, U.S. military, get them out of there. Then Iraq will have full sovereignty. It is exciting, but the real reason why the United States closed the fund is because there was an audit done. There's billions of dollars missing. The big question is, well, who's responsible for those missing billions? Is it the United States or is it Iraq? Not to mention the money that was sent to Iraq for projects were being mismanaged, misused, and somehow came up missing. I agree, Pimpy. So I'm done talking about that, because I'm just glad it hasn't been renewed, right? Frank 26, the exchange rate is in the budget to be voted on by Parliament, but the budget is waiting on the new exchange rate. I talked about that this morning, Mountain Goat, but remember that with these next steps, there is still the program rate. I talked about that this morning. You can go on my live, guys. I have the timestamps up to see all of this. And again, Mark Z said, when I will say again, that I know a person in banking that helped to set up 3 redeeming locations. Now they're calling them redeeming locations. We're making it progress, guys. Now, whether you want to call them redemption centers or redeeming banks, these are the locations that have trained their personnel and has the equipment to handle the process. You can call it whatever you want. One location in North Carolina borrowed my currency and helped me to make certain their staff was trained for me. They are very real. So guys, whatever it is you want, just make sure you're prepared for whatever strategy you're choosing to go with. If you're going with one of the ones they suggest you go to, definitely do that. Now, the last thing I'm going to do today is give you the notes from TNT's call this morning. Tishwash, the number of banks participating in the projects is steadily increasing, including BBAC, IIB, Chiran, Route, and MBI, all of which are recognized and approved by the Central Bank of Iraq. 1,000 ATMs will be installed by end of year across all province in the Kurdistan region. The registration process for the Kurdistan regional government satellite employees in the My Account project continues, with the number of registrations reaching 260,000 people. Additionally, 153,000 cards have been issued to those registered. What are those cards? Like digital cards. Like, you know, everybody's going digital. You need to get used to that. Approximately 1,000 ATMs will be installed across all provinces, districts, and areas of the Kurdistan region of Iraq by the end of 2024, as announced by the Kurdistan Regional Government Media and Information Office on Thursday. That was today. Some of the project services include access to hundreds of ATMs to withdraw user funds at once for free, available equipment, 24-hour use, allowing employees to withdraw money at their convenience, and it's free because the digital programs are cheap, access to various bank loans and advances, Use of debit cards for online purchases, point of sale transactions, just like we do here in the U.S. It's no different than in the U.S. They're just catching up. Secure and safe money transfers domestically and internationally, like we have here in the U.S. They're just catching up, so it's going to look a lot like the U.S. here. Access to the bank's mobile application to monitor account activity and receive monitor account activity. Yes, they're going to be able to monitor it down to the dollar. You just watch. You just wait. I've told you first. Candy kisses. Soudani's visit to Washington, Iraqi insistence on removing the occupier, right? Maybe that's why I haven't heard from Sandman. Maybe he's on his way back to the U.S. Who knows? Amid assurance that there is an active and serious move by the government and its negotiation delegation with the so-called international coalition to end its presence in Iraq, the Iraqis insist on removing these forces or returning to resisting the American occupier. So maybe he's on his way out. Maybe his vacation, he came back, and now he's moving up. Who knows? I'm sure he'll get back to me as soon as he can. Kareem added that America will try to impose some files during the next visit while the governments enjoy political and parliamentary support in moving towards making fateful decisions during the negotiation round, which will begin in the middle of next month. Although the government has come a long way, the negotiation through the joint committees formed by the two parties. On the other hand, the former MP Ahmad Ali stressed the attacks carried out by America on the headquarters of the Iraqi factions represent a violation of the agreement between Baghdad and Washington. Yup, sounds like it. The factions announced their commitment to government decisions to resort to a diplomatic solution to remove the U.S. forces. He pointed out that the government has passed in the file of the exit of the Americans from Iraq. And the visit of the Sudanese have put this file among the priorities in the talks that will be held with Biden. In the same context, the head of an organizing body of a popular movement for the Belt and Road said that the experience with America confirms that its forces will not leave Iraq peacefully. Washington seeks not to empty the Iraqi arena of the military presence of its forces, so these forces will not leave Iraq without the resistance carrying out jihadist actions to end their presence on Iraqi territory and force them to leave. We'll see guys, it's getting messy. God himself told me it would be messy, so don't worry about this. Just pray. Oil statistics, Iraq is at the forefront. Oil statistics provided by the British Petroleum showed that since 2004, Iran has become the second oil exporting country among these 5 oil countries after the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This year, Saudi Arabia's oil exports reached 6,800,000 barrels per day, while it reached Iran's exports are 2,700,000. At that time, Iraq was 4th largest oil exporter among these countries and only sold 1.5 million barrels of oil per day. Over time, this is talking about the history. I don't care about the history right now. I just want to get to where we're at. It says, let's see. It's the history. The increase of Iraq's oil sales and tightening of oil sanctions on Iran in these 2 decades caused a major change in the position of Iran and Iraq in oil sales. Iraq was able to seize second place. Iraq is second place in oil production. I saved you from a lot of words. What do you think about this summary? Please comment down below. Do you think this is good? Bad? Are you indifferent? Are you a holder of currency? If so, how long? I'm excited about the Zimbabwe thing. The gold, the new notes. I saw it in the picture. You should be excited about that for those of us who hold Zimbabwe bonds. Iraqi dinar is done, but sounds like Zimbabwe is done too. So comment down below. I love you all with the love of Jesus Christ. Thank you for your prayers for my husband and me. I'm getting much better today. I did get a nap before my afternoon appointment. And Shelby, it was awesome talking to you. And I hope you appreciate those strategies, the Zoom replay, because he had been a client of mine before. It had been a while since we talked, so we caught up, and I sent him those strategies. If anybody needs freedom strategies for the currency exchange, or maybe turning in your Zim bonds, getting money for them, please let me know. I will forward those to you for a small fee of $55. So much cheaper than a global presentation. I love you all with the love of Christ. Bye.